We will see how to avoid security warnings like this one for your domain and how to add subdomains properly using Ghost. This is a step-by-step tutorial, so just follow along. But first, let's dive into the problem. If you have your site up and running, you might see such a security warning. That is because your SSL certification is not valid for this domain, including the subdomain. A subdomain is the part that goes before your domain, like www or like blog.example.com. So there's a difference between accessing www.example.com and example.com or blog.example.com. Ghost and Let's Encrypt offer free SSL certificates. I'll show you how to get them. First, log into your console where your Ghost site is running. If you are hosting your Ghost blog on DigitalOcean like I am, simply open the console of the Ghost droplet. Now let's configure Ghost to the URL we need an SSL certificate for. In my example, I want my website to be running on kino.earth, but if someone types www.kino.earth, there shouldn't be a problem. So I'll create an SSL certificate for both. To do that, we type ghost config URL https :/ and your URL www.kino.earth. Remember to include the subdomain like www or blog if wanted. If you get this warning, we need to change the directory. Use cd and the path of your Ghost installation. Normally that is bar www ghost. Now we generate the SSL certificate with Ghost setup and Nginx SSL. But as the warning indicates, we need to log in as a user first. To show you all the steps necessary, I'll create a new user. You can of course use existing users as well. Type add user and the username, like example user. Hit enter, set a password and hit enter. If you want to add details like the name, add them. If not, just press enter and continue. And now that you created the user, use su and your username to log in. Alright, let's create the SSL certificate by typing ghost setup nginx SSL. And we again have to change the directory. So we cd bar www and ghost. Now you can use your arrow up button to repeat the last command. Well, the previous command, the ghost setup nginx SSL. My screen looks different from yours because I have this already set up. Maybe you have an error with the SSL setup, something like this. No worries, we'll handle that later. First, let's change back the domain settings to where we want the website running. In my case, without the www. You can skip this if you're happy with the domain entered at the beginning. We use ghost config URL https : / and your domain. If permission is denied, add sudo and enter your password for the user that you have set earlier. Now we'll fix the error of the SSL certificate. To do that, we need to find the SSL certificates, and they are usually located in the folder etc/let's encrypt. So we cd to that, change directory, let's cd, and we list all files in there with ls. And we see that there's a new file with _ECC. It might be different in your case, but we have to know that and bear that in mind. So what we do now is we tell our server to use those files. We cd to etc and nginx and list ls all of those files, and then navigate cd sites -enabled and use ls to show all the files in there. Now we are going to open one with vim and then the file. Let's start with your domain and then SSL, and want to edit those. To do that, you simply press I on your keyboard to go to insert mode, Then you navigate using the arrow buttons and you want to change the SSL certificate location. So the etc encrypt, then your domain, and add these ECC letters or whatever it is in your case, at the end there. Make sure to add those letters of the path for all the rows, so not only this one, but also the one beforehand. And also check what is set in your location, in the first location frame. So you see in my case, it is return 301 HTTPS and then my domain without the subdomain. So that is saying that I want to forward all traffic that goes to www.keto.earth to the specified domain there. Also make sure the $request URI, which is helpful so that the URL ending, let's say for example post 1, also gets forwarded accordingly. If you want the same settings, you can delete all other rows that are inserted there at the first location. Now we have to repeat this process for the second config file. So the yourdomain.config without the SSL. We open that with vim again. So vim yourdomain.config. Go to insertion mode, pressing I on your keyboard, navigating with the arrow buttons, and also insert this return 301 and then your domain if you want to forward it. If you don't, you can leave this file as is, press escape and then :WQ for write and save and hit enter. Okay, let's test if the configuration is valid. To do so, press or type sudo nginx -t. If it is not, then check again if you made any typos beforehand, any semicolon missing, something like that in the files. And if it's successful, then finish by sudo nginx -s reload. That's it for now. I hope it helped solving your issues. If so, please like, subscribe if you want to see more helpful tips about blogging on Ghost. See you next time.